Greetings there, lads and lasses. Now, in the past decade and a bit, the comic book superhero genre has exploded in modern day cinema, and with that, a variety of obscure characters, teams, and storylines have made their way to new audiences. Concept and characters that would be completely unknown to modern audiences 2 decades ago, such as the Infinity Stones, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Shazam, and of course, the Suicide Squad, are all well known in modern day cinema. Now, the Suicide Squad, or Task Force X as it's officially called, has been referenced in certain pieces of media, such as the Justice League Unlimited cartoon and the CW verse, but it saw a big promotion in 2016 due to the release of Suicide Squad. And since then there has been a wide promotion in Suicide Squad material and Harley Quinn, one of its most prominent characters. Now when it comes to the live action movies, there has been 2 different films centered around them. 3 if you count whatever the hell David Ayer's version of the film is supposed to be. There is the part David Ayer, part music video company 2016 Suicide Squad, a film that, like the rest of the Snyderverse, completely failed to understand the key characters and concepts introduced from the comics, and as such, instead of being a highly secretive black ops team composed of criminals to perform illegal operations against foreign countries and other governmental figures, here it's a bunch of criminals brought together to fight superpowered beings like Superman. Because as we all know, a crazy former psychiatrist with a baseball bat is able to fight a being that can fly through walls and shoot lasers from his eyes. So anyways, aside from the main goal, which is to try and extract a highly important VIP,
I love you, kitchen gun!
The rest of the story barely resembles a Suicide Squad story, mostly just fighting weird zombie things, characters being complete cringe fests, and some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard.
Now that's killer app.
But the movie, luckily, is still a 10 out of 10, because they've got Katana, and she's got your back, and she can cut you in half with one sword stroke like mowing lawn. But no, in all seriousness, you know the film is bad when out of all the actors in the film, Jai Courtney is the only entertaining one. So after the dreadful 10 out of 10 film we got there, we then had The Suicide Squad film by James Gunn, which decided to actually be a Suicide Squad film. It focuses on the squad thinking they're getting deployed to destroy a top secret weapons facility in a rival country, when in actuality they're just there to destroy data linking the Inhuman experiments to the US. There is a wide roster of different characters in this movie, and a wide variety of them, from crazy maniacs to weird intelligent beasts to professional hitmen to people who are genuinely just trying to be superheroes in their own way. Naturally, being a James Gunn film, there's a lot of good character arcs, moments, and banter.
No one likes to show off.
Unless what they're showing off is dope as fuck.
Fuck. That's true.
The humour is right up my alley, being a good blend of immature jokes.
Nothing to me for, man. Why the fuck are you in your underwear? Tighty whities? Really?
Now that's just racist.
No, it's
Dark humour,
Did anyone check on where the weasel could swim?
and situational dialogue.
Hey, Chica. Forgot the rep.
The action scenes are, mostly, enjoyable, being crude, bloody and stylish. The costume design is unique and varied for all the characters, and the CGI looks great, especially for Weasel, King Shark, and Bloodsport's nanotech weapons. Of all the criticisms I could give this movie, the 2 main ones are: 1. Can people please learn how to make Harley Quinn not completely fucking insufferable in most of her scenes? Now, this isn't Margot Robbie's fault. She clearly put a lot of effort into the character, and the fact that she did most of her own stunts as the character shows commitment. It's just that this is the 3rd different personality that this character has had in the DCEU, and none of them have hit for me. In this film, most of her jokes just didn't land with me, and she has the most egregious plot armor. First, she somehow doesn't die during this. Then she doesn't get executed because the country's leader just so happens to have a crush on her, and then she gets captured and held prisoner by the stupidest possible person they could think of, and then there's this. Overall, I just think that writers, including James Gunn, need to remember that Harley Quinn is not Deadpool. She was a regular person who had severe Stockholm Syndrome under the Joker's influence and can be a genuinely nice person when free from him. She should be more grounded, have more gripping emotional moments, and she needs to lose the heavy plot armour. My second main criticism is that the last act loses a lot of its more espionage feel to it, and it kinda just turns into another comic book movie where they fight the evil alien. Now don't get me wrong, I still love this movie and I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with a Suicide Squad mission going wrong and they need to fight a larger threat. It's just it sucks the moral ambiguity and the evil protagonist aspect out of the story so they can fight a giant kaiju starfish man. Which is even more annoying to me because they literally had a perfect, morally driven scene at the start of Act 3 between Rick and Peacemaker, but we know how that ends. Personally, considering most of them barely got any personality or any noticeable moments, it would have been nice to see some of the more evil or morally ambiguous members of the first team survive and get separated from the main cast. Then, when the main team steals the data Waller wants and tries to fight Starro, she could offer them even better sentences than when she initially offered them to kill the main team and steal the data back. This way there's a big three-way battle between Starro, the heroic team and Waller's team, having a clash of morals and the big alien fight at the same time. But yeah, I really enjoy this movie. It's probably the best DCEU movie made before it got rebooted. Unfortunately, even though I just gave it plenty of praise, the Suicide Squad isn't the best Suicide Squad movie, it's just the best live action one. You see, despite its name, Batman Assault on Arkham is as much a Suicide Squad film as it is a Batman film, one that was supposed to be set in the Arkham video game series. But considering Rocksteady decided to resurrect one of the dead characters and give Deadshot blackface for the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I think it's fair to say that the narrative designers for this franchise aren't paying attention anymore, and that this movie is just in its own sort of canon inspired by the games. The main premise of the movie revolves around Amanda Waller sending the squad into Arkham Asylum to steal data from the Riddler, who has information that will affect Waller and the squad. At the same time, Batman is trying to track down a bomb Joker has hidden, and during his search he ends up realizing something is wrong at Arkham and ends up going against the squad several times. During the movie we will learn what Waller is actually looking for, and we see the squad start to double cross and backstab each other in order to survive. This movie for me perfectly sums up how bad both the people in the squad are and how corrupt Gotham City is. The squad do not get along with each other, regularly breaking out into arguments and even fights, and while they may be amicable towards each other at times, they're highly dysfunctional, only able to work together because Waller shows them what will happen if they fail. Parts of their plans constantly go wrong, with the end result being more innocent people getting killed and making their mission harder. Meanwhile, Gotham and Arkham Asylum are depicted as operating under an ineffective and corrupt authority, and it's heavily emphasized why Batman is needed. Penguin just openly has a club full of weapons and thugs, the asylum is full of personnel who will do amoral things for their own pleasure, and the security is so ineffective that they just let people walk in without ID, and most of them just get taken out with ease, unable to even try and fight back most of the time. In terms of cast, it's similar to the 2016 movie, with Deadshot, Harley Quinn and Captain Boomerang being on the team, alongside a aquatic muscle man, an elemental, and a more heroic anti-hero figure, alongside the one who doesn't do anything except die. However, unlike the 2016 one, the characters are more consistent, they play off each other and against each other more realistically, and they don't magically become friends at the end of the movie.
You can't have them. These are my people right here.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Batman is shown being, well, Batman, having to plan and use a variety of different means in order to take on this varied group of highly skilled killers. We get other prominent individuals in the Batman mythology showing up as well, with Bane, Riddler and Penguin having a major impact, a couple of small cameos from other villains, with Joker coming in to become the big bad at the end. We also see a variety of references to other figures in DC, especially during the Asylum warehouse scene. Despite the lack of morally good characters to root for and the bleak and violent tone of the film, there's still a good variety of comedy in the film ranging from dark to just immature, with one joke I really like was when Batman just gets fed up at fighting King Shark and decides to just zap him in the balls. It also has a small runtime, being just an hour and 15 minutes long, so there's not a lot of padding or side plots going on to distract from the main story. There's two main plots going on, the Batman Joker plot and the Suicide Squad mission, and they intersect at a few moments before combining into one plot at the 1 hour mark. To be honest, besides the usual issues you have with animated films such as the character movement and the fight scene choreography, my one main complaint, without trying to spoil things too much, is there's a scene where Batman is undercover in the asylum, and he just stands by and watches while the squad slaughter a bunch of security guards without trying to help them. While yes, he is trying to find a bomb that could kill thousands and he's trying to learn intel that will help him find it, Batman despises killing in most forms, even against criminals who might deserve it. So seeing him just stand back and let people die just feels out of place for me. But besides this issue, I really do enjoy this film. Now, if you're not the type of person who enjoys watching animation, watch the James Gunn adaptation of the Suicide Squad. But if you want to see, in my opinion, the best Suicide Squad film, then be sure to check out this animated film if you've got an hour to spare. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please consider liking and subscribing, and maybe giving to my Patreon. I have a wide variety of different content on this channel that you may be interested in, and hopefully you check out some other videos. But most of all, I hope you have a good day, and hopefully I'll see you next time.